According to research and from my own experience of being an IELTS instructor for the past 7 years, and having lots of experience coaching students throughout these 7 years, I've come to know that most students have a difficult time in the IELTS reading section. So, in today's video, I wanted to discuss the most important tips you need to know for each question type, and make sure you keep watching because I will actually give you a sample answer at the end of this presentation where you will be able to practice finding answers throughout a passage. So make sure you keep watching because you don't want to miss this opportunity of completing the sample question. So, guys, first I wanted to discuss the multiple choice question. So, there are so many different question types you may get in the IELTS reading section, but I wanted to emphasize on the multiple choice question. So, in the multiple choice question, you will most likely be given 3 to 4 selections. So, you will be given a question like the example on the left, and then you will be given 4 selections, so you choose the best option that suits the passage at the top or what the question is asking. So, while you are completing multiple choice questions, you need to make sure that you pay attention to keywords in the question, and you need to look for their synonyms or related information in the passage. This is so necessary just because you want to make sure that you understand that most likely the words in the question will not be written in the passage. So you need to become familiar with synonym language or related keywords that relate to the same topic. Then another tip that I highly recommend you to try to practice is that you need to eliminate options that are clearly incorrect before making your selection. So, for example, if we see the example question on the left, for if you go down the list and you realize that A is not the answer, then you should just cross it out, so that way it's a lot easier for you to see exactly exactly what the question, what the answer is, and it will help you with your choice at the end. And then, guys, the third tip I can give you for the multiple choice question is that you need to be cautious of distractor options that may appear correct at first glance. So remember that because the IELTS exam is an English test, you may get confused and think that you just found the answer because the first two words are the same in the multiple choice selection. But this is just a distractor, and you need to be aware of this. And don't worry, guys, like I said, make sure you keep watching because you will become familiar with distractors at the end of this video when we do the sample question. So, the next question I wanted to talk about is the true, false, not given question. So, the true, false, not given question it looks something like the one on the left. So, you will be given a question where you will be given a sentence, and you have to find that if this sentence was written in the passage or not. So, was it true? Was it written in the passage? Is it the same thing or not? So if not, then if it was not written, then you would say not given. If the information is completely different or something about the data is different, you would write false. So you need to read the question carefully for this given section, and you need to pay attention to the wording, especially the difference between true, false, and not given. You need to make sure you know the difference between the three. Next, you need to ensure that you skim the passage to find relevant information and confirm if the statement is true, false, or not given, like I said. And if you cannot find a clear confirmation or contradiction in the passage, remember that the answer is false. And here is another question type you may see. This question type is called the match headings information. So it's either match headings or information questions. These are two different types of questions, but remember that you could use the same strategies that I'm giving you for this section. So for the match heading section, you may be given a bunch of headings, A, B, C, D, like you see on the left, and you have to read the passage and see which paragraph suits each heading. This is, I highly recommend that when you are given this type of question, you first read the passage and then you come to the headings and you skim them. The reason why I recommend this is because if you get a gist of each paragraph, then it will be a lot easier to find the headings that match the appropriate paragraph. So, first, you need to skim the passage to get a sense of the main ideas, like I said, in each paragraph. And then you need to read the headings or information provided for each paragraph and identify the most suitable match. Next, look for similar words, keywords, synonyms, or paraphrases in both the headings and the passage, guys. This is extremely important when you are actually completing your match headings questions, guys. You need to make sure you become familiar with this type of question type and what strategies to use to find your answer. And guys, let's get back into the presentation. The next one is called a sentence completion summary question. So with the sentence completion summary question is you will be given a sentence and you need to find the best answer that suits this sentence. So just as the sample on the left says, the impacts of climate change on ecosystems include loss of biodiversity, shifts in blank, and disruptions in ecological interactions. So you would have to find the best answer choice given for this particular sentence. And remember one thing, guys, is you will find this throughout the passage. So you need to make sure you are, in fact, familiar with this. And the steps that I highly recommend you to follow for the sentence completion is to read the given sentence or summary carefully. Try to predict the missing information. Skip the passage to find the relevant section and focus on the sentences before and after to understand the context. Next is look for synonyms, paraphrases, or similar keywords in the passage to complete the sentence or summary. So guys, if you like this video so far, make sure you hit that like button and let me know if you are watching this live after while it's recorded, because I'd love for you guys to attend my next live session so we can interact and I can help you on your IELTS exam. And guys, one other thing is to remember is another question type you may be given is called the yes, no, not given question. So this type of question is a little similar to true, false, not given, but it's not the same. Excuse me. So take a quick look at this sample question that says, based on the passage, determine whether the following statement is yes, no, not given. Organic farming relies solely on natural methods and does not use any form of pest control. So is this answer yes, no, not given? And this sentence you can find throughout the passage. So if you find it throughout the passage, the answer is yes. If the answer is not there, you would put not given. And if the answer is a little different than what is written, the answer would be no. So the steps for the yes, no, not given question is you need to carefully read the question, look for keywords or phrases in the passage that directly support or contradict the statement. And finally, guys, you need to be cautious of answers that seem related but not directly addresses the question. Remember this, and this will definitely help you pass this type of question. If you are given it, you will be able to find the answer. It's so important that you know these strategies, whether you need to read the passage first and then go to the questions, or you need to go to the questions first and then the passage. And guys, next is the other question type is called match sentence endings or feature questions. So for this type of question, you need to read the incomplete sentences or features carefully, and then you need to try to anticipate how they may end. So you need to read it and you need to see how you may think this sentence may end. And next is you need to skim the passage to find sentences or sections that match the incomplete statements. So maybe you could look for similarities or something that talks about the same topic that the heading is throughout the passage. And lastly, you need to pay attention to the context and look for keywords or phrases that provide the missing information. So here's another question type you may be given. With this question type or these question types are summary or flowchart or table questions. So these are three different question types, but once again, you can use the same type of strategies I'm teaching you on this section for all three question types. So you need to remember for this question type, you will be given like a summary. So, for example, the one on the left is a summary, and you need to find the best answer from the answer option. So, you'll be given four answers, and you need to ensure that you choose the best one. So, the best steps to take for this question type is you need to skip the passage to understand the main ideas and the structure of the information. Then you need to read the incomplete summary, notes, or flowchart. So, whether it's a chart or a table, and you need to carefully grasp the information that is written within that section and what information is missing. So, you could get a general idea. And then you need to look for keywords, synonyms, or paraphrases in the passage that will help you locate the missing information. So here's a sample question that I'd like you to take some time to complete this question. So if you are watching this video after this live, when it's recorded, make sure you pause this section so you are able to complete these sample questions. There's three questions here. So what I want you to do is I want you to read the passage and find the correct answers. So once you find the correct answers, once you complete the answers, I want you to play the video again, and then you will be able to see the answers because this is something I will discuss in the next slide. So make sure you complete the sample questions just so you get an idea of how to find the answers or what type of vocabulary words helped you locate it. Really think about this, guys, because this is what will help you succeed in the IELTS reading section. So make sure you pause the video if you are watching this live afterwards, as I mentioned, and then that way you get some time to complete the sample question. So, guys, now that we are back, I want you to take a look at the first question that says, what is one of the benefits of sleep related to physical health? So, the answer here, as you see, the yellow highlighted says tissue repair and muscle growth. So I want you to take a look at that particular paragraph that says one of the benefits of sleep is its role in its physical restoration. During sleep, the body repairs and rejuvenates itself. Growth hormones, growth hormone is released, promoting tissue repair and muscle growth. Lack of sufficient sleep can lead to impaired physical performance, weakened immune system, and increased risk of chronic conditions such as obesity and diabetes. So I just want to zoom this in so I can. This is my first time using this, so I hope to zoom this in so we can discuss it, but that's okay. We'll move on. So, as you see here, the sentence during sleep, the body repairs and rejuvenates itself. So, and the question says, what is one of the best benefits of sleep related to physical health? So, what happens in your sleep? So, as you see here, this particular sentence tells us exactly what happens in our sleep. The body repairs and rejuvenates itself. These type of vocabulary words tell you, it's a hint that the answer will be within this sentence. So if you keep reading, it tells you exactly what happens. Growth hormone is released, promoting tissue repair and muscle growth. So as you see, the answer is C for number one. And number two says, what happens during sleep in relation to memories? So let's quickly take a look at this blue highlight that says, the entire sentence says, sleep also plays a significant role in cognitive processes. It is during sleep that memories are. Sorry, this is so small. I'm trying to. There we go. Sleep also plays a significant role in cognitive processes. It is during sleep that memories are consolidated and stored. So, as you see, what happens during sleep in relation to memories? That's what the question says. So this is what cognitive process is actually written as a vocabulary word that relates to memories. Cognitive means what happens to your brain, the process of it, and your memory. So remember this, guys. So this is a big hint that the answer would be written or found in this particular paragraph or sentence. It is during sleep that memories are consolidated and stored. So, as you see here, the answer is B because it says memories are formed and consolidated are synonym words and stored. So, the answer to number two is B. And number three says, how does sleep deprivation affect emotional well being? So let's take a look at the green highlighted paragraph. So the last sentence says, sleep deprivation, on the other hand, can lead to increased irritability, mood swings, and heightened emotional activity. So, what words help us find the answers to this? Sleep deprivation. So, the question clearly says sleep deprivation. So, that's a big hint that the answer would be found within this sentence. Affect emotional well being. This means pretty much how you are as a person. If you don't sleep, how do you behave? How is your emotional well-being? So once again, mental health and emotional well-being are synonym words, as you see in this particular paragraph, which is a big hint at, is that's where you would find the answer. Sleep deprivation, on the other hand, can lead to increased irritability, mood swings, and heightened emotional reactivity. So, once again, as you see here, you are able to eliminate each answer, so you know that, okay, if sleep deprivation leads to you not being in a good mood, it won't increase your emotional stability. That means it helps you get into a better mood? No, it doesn't. If you don't have sleep, you know it's not A, you know it's not B. Decreased irritability, no. Reduced risk of anxiety, no, it doesn't reduce the risk of anxiety. It probably gives you more anxiety when you don't get sleep. So you know the answer is D, heightened emotional reactivity, because that's what is written in the exact passage, guys. So I want you to remember this when you are in fact completing your IELTS reading section, guys. This is so important. The reason why I jumped on this call today is because I want to help you guys succeed in the IELTS reading section. And that's why I wanted to do that sample answer with you, just so you get an idea of how exactly you could best find the answers. Remember to always, always, always follow the rules of either reading the passage first and then looking at the questions, or looking at the questions and then reading the passage first. This is so important because this will help you. You want to make sure you know exactly what the questions are asking you to look for in the passage. I mean, if you don't know what you're looking for in the passage, how are you going to find the answer, or how are you going to pay attention to certain keywords? So that's why this is so important, guys. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, this live today. I will be trying to come on lives at least 3 times a week going forward. I will be announcing it in my on all my channels throughout Telegram, Facebook, and YouTube, guys. Remember that our number one goal is to help ladies pass the IELTS exam. My number one goal is to see all you ladies succeed on the IELTS exam. If you are interested in live speaking classes, I offer ladies only live speaking IELTS speaking classes, so you are prepared for the IELTS exam. If you like this video, make sure you check out this one up above, because I think it will help you pass your IELTS exam.